Good evening. If you would like to listen to a 42-year-old grown adult drone on for less than 10 minutes, probably much less, we'll try and keep this quick, about his skate recommendations. This is also a Todd certified list. He has co-signed this. He added one thing to this list. There's 2 skates he hasn't tried on this list, but I would like to give you the mushroom blading skate buyer's guide, our canon for skates. And this is current skates that are available on the market. One actually it's hard to buy right now, but so I have invested a lot of money, time, effort into trying lots of stuff, especially since starting this Patreon. Even before that, watching these old tapes, I try so many different skates. What works for me and what works for Todd might not work for you, but hopefully with this list, you can be inspired to buy something on sale, try something new. There's a lot of stock out there. These are all things that should be pretty easy to get. And if you're on the fence about something, you could try it. You could not listen to me, not try any of this stuff. Also, if you want to go more in depth on anything that I talk about, just use the search function on the Patreon. But let's go. So this is the mushroom blading aggressive skate canon for the buyer's guide. In no particular order. And I've done a video on my top skate picks. I was maybe too emotional about certain brands, still in the middle of a skate crisis. This is a very solid list that you can trust, that I will stick to for a long time. I'll just get into it. Here's the MB aggressive skate canon. Majestic 12s. Classic. It's the lightning shell. It's simple. It's very widely available in many different colors and styles. Its sole plate isn't giant. People skating looks very good in this skate. It's classic. The sport was invented on the boot, on that shell. And the sole plate, it's got an amazing memory buckle. You can hear me talk about it more. If you have a wide foot, it's not going to work well for you, but it's classic. It works. It's like the original shell that the sport was built on. Mesmer. Probably the best backslide groove and best sliding sole plate. And as somebody who never tried thrones, I skated very, very, very well in this skate. And it's similar to M12s, where most people who skate this skate, their stuff looks very good, very stylish. The only problem was the soles were warped, which was an issue. I could only skate the Manti Rocker, but I skated the Manti Rocker very well, and I went to go sell them, and I still haven't sold them, so I might pop them back on here and there, but highly recommend Mesmer, especially the P-backs. If the Levy one is P-backs, the Don Bruce, that material, the bounce and the snapback in it, mixed with the incredible sole plate, backslide groove, the best backslide groove out of every modern skate I've tried. The closest you can get to that original backslide feel. So there's a reason Levy is backsliding so well in that skate. 909. What is there left to say about that skate? I've talked about that skate way too much. On this channel, on this Patreon. It's the modern version of the M12, so if you want a little bit more width, a little bit bigger of a sole plate, and some modern touches, M12 still has a better buckle with memory buckle, but you're also supporting skater owned. so many different shells and colors. You'll find them on sale. They work amazingly. Their stock frames are great. Frames is another thing. We'll have to do a buyer's guide on frames. Now, you've heard me talk enough about it. You know it's good. If you can get an Intuition version, not with the new them Intuition, but any of the older models with the them Intuitions, just a great skate. That one feels like home more than the M12. That's like the modern home. Lastly, to round off our aggressive skate canon, is the Standard Omni. So I do not like flat heel skates with giant soles. I've tried a bunch of them, and I usually don't like them. And this is the first one that's really good for a few reasons. The mounting on it is really good. You can hear me talk about this. The thickness of the sole plate and the response of the skate, all very, very, very good. They're grinding machines, more so than any other thing on the list. Like if you really want to grind a lot and get crazy Royale grooves and get a really nice rounded sole, a good price point, and a brand that's still evolving. Like the changes that they made for V2, it's exciting to think about V3, 4, 5, because the 909 is a very well rounded skate, but it took a while to get there. So Standard's exciting. Like I've tried the fifths, I've tried Jado and Carbon Freeze. What was the other one I was thinking of? Razor's SL. Standard's like if Razor's SL or Fifth Elements were good, like had all of the elements working for them. So that one. Next on the list, hybrid skates, which is aggressive and big wheel mixed together. There's just two recommendations here. So I originally just had Aeon 80 on here, but Todd wanted to add the 72. I agree with him. Aeon 80, 72. Even if you're the biggest them skates fan and you don't want to skate anything, or you're the biggest Wizard fan, get a pair of Aeon 80s or 72s and try them. They don't feel like any other skate. There's no other skate like it on the market. I loved our skating in both of these skates. I actually didn't skate the 72s enough. You can probably get some Takeshis on sale. They look great. They come with very good stock wheels. They work well with Intuitions, although a little bit of pinch on the toe. And those new Aeon 80s, that color is really nice. I might have to get those eventually because I sold my Aeon 80s. But I do miss them. Probably one of the funnest skates that can do a little bit of everything. Heavily flawed, which you can search. I've talked about these skates a lot. But for hybrid skates, Aeon 80 and 72. Props to USD for making those. They're really a bizarre skate that remain underrated. Our big wheel recommendations is the Seba CJ SX boot. This would be the linerless version with Intuitions. Pretty much the Wizard boot, but you can buy... I don't think this is the one that... I don't know if you can buy a linerless carbon Seba boot right now. Because the last version was the white plastic, so the Prime is the plastic version. Todd skated the plastic shell in 42, which had more room than the carbon 42, but we've done a lot of very good skating that we like in Wizard frames in that boot. If you can find that boot and find your size and get an Intuition fitting in there, amazing for UFS big wheel frames, particularly Wizards. That combo is just, it's a new classic of big wheels. If you're looking for a budget option, Standard snuck in on this list, the Standard V1. So I've tried a lot. I've tried to see what Wizards are like on certain plastic boots, And if you can get a tight-fitting them 909, you could do 90s on, and maybe 80s, PR 80s and 90s. And standard, I don't think Todd said standard can handle NR 100s, but I tried it and it was tricky. Like, you have to really do the cuff up tight. But if you can get a pair of standard V1s for cheap, they're like a price point big wheel UFS boot with a really good support. So snuck in on this list, but I do recommend them. If you can find Seba CJ SX linerless, get them. But try the standard. If you can buy a used pair or some for cheap, try them. They work. And then the Twister XT, I've talked a lot about it on this channel. That's one that Todd still needs to try. But for a big wheel skate that's very comfortable, comes with great stock wheels, great stock liner, you can upgrade it with endless frames. You could have it on for a very long time, skate all over the place. Twister XT. And then, so there is the Wizard boot, there's the base and the base high. I have base highs. I haven't been skating them enough to make, they need to be broken in, and I need to skate them more to make a proper conclusion, because I got them in a 42 and they need some breaking in. And I've heard that they need a lot of breaking in, so I can't say anything about the Wizard base or the base high until I skate them more. My recommendation would be the Seba CJ SX. Lastly, before I go, there are 2 wild card recommendations. Something that I've talked about before that just completely scrambled my brain was when I tried a $9 pair of Lightning TRSs that had been sitting around, that I've talked about them before, and Todd tried them too, and how good that skate performed for a skate that is over 30 years old. You can maybe buy Lightning TRSs if you can find them. A lot of people break them. These ones haven't broke. I don't know. The plastic must have been quite good that they're made out of, but I can't recommend the Lightning TRS because they're hard to find. So my wild card recommendation is the Rose's 1992. I do need to try them 80s. I posted about it in a story that Rose's 1992 or them 80s. Them 80s could replace this, but Rose's 1992 is the closest thing you can get to the original popular initial creation of people doing tricks on skates, the rollerblade Lightning. The 1992 is the closest thing, and I skated them and I really like them, especially paired with Intuitions and better wheels. If you want to try something really outside of your comfort zone, I wish they would release it in all black. There was a kid from Japan, I think, who filmed a promo in all black 1992s, and they just haven't come out. What's the deal with that? I don't know. Roasted 1992. Lastly, the T-neck skate. The T-neck 58. It didn't quite make it into the regular aggressive skate canon for mushroom blading recommendations, but it is a skate that shows a lot of potential, and it's a skate kind of like the Aeon 80 or the Roasted 1992 where there's nothing like it, and I hope it inspires other skates like it. And I also like what they're doing with the brand and the people skating the skates. So I put T-neck, there's like T-neck and Standard are the new brands. Then there's like Mesmer and them up here. But I find that T-neck and Standard are like the new guys in town that I would like to see stick around. So that's the first buyer's guide for skates. I guess I'll have to do one for frames eventually. That's a big one though. Thank you for watching. Keep skating or something. Next video we're going to be restructuring the industry based on your votes. We restructured it once if you want to look up the old one. I think it's under Warm Take. And I'll put on my good shirt. Maybe I'll get a clipboard and we'll show some charts, and you know, we're going to have to be making some cuts. And there's only going to be some brands that make it. There's going to be some, what's the word when you combine? What's the corporate word when you combine? Some mergers, some acquisitions. Maybe I'll get into where the team members can go. I'm not sure. But happy Saturday night. Keep skating or something.